Here we go again. I am just enjoying reminiscing and talking about things and chapters of my life. I think one of the most interesting chapters is about the time that my husband, number one, he finally got saved after 18 years of praying for him. And he was a gospel singer after that because we started going to Evangel Tabernacle in Louisville, Kentucky, which Wayman Rogers was the pastor. And we went there for 3 years, and our children went to church camp and got acquainted with all of the kids, and it was a wonderful move. They were having a fight at our church over the pastor, and it was just nasty. And I said, honey, we can't have our kids in this kind of stuff, so we're moving where my Aunt Mary and Uncle Norman go, the one that took care of us when number one was AWOL. Time has passed, and now he's a Christian, and so we go to church over there, and he's a singer of country music, that sad country music. My baby done and left me, what am I going to do now? You know, darling, I love you, and please stay out of the honky-tonk places. Honky-tonk songs, they were depressing to me. I mean, country music, some of it's really good with Alan Jackson. I just love him. But anyway, so we're going to Evangel Tabernacle in Louisville, and our church don't have very many people. And this has been, Kathy and Karen was about 14, the twins, and Kim, my baby daughter, 4 years younger. You know, the bossy one. She's sweet. She's just like me. Kim is a rerun of me. I'm telling you. Our minds just run the same way, and I just love her to pieces. She's such a blessing. We had a time getting her, too, but we finally got her. And she was so spoiled. But anyway, she's got a husband now that spoils her, and he's a sweet man, I tell you. But now back to Evangel Tabernacle and Buddy, a country singer. Well, when Brother Rogers found out that Buddy was a singer, and Buddy got baptized over there, so he really was truly committed to Jesus. And so Brother Rogers would say, Brother Buddy Baird is here this morning. Give us a song, Brother Baird. So Buddy would get up with his guitar and sing a song. My God is Real. He knew 2 gospel songs, My God is Real and Just a Closer Walk with Thee. Next Sunday, Brother Rogers would say, Brother Baird is here again. Give us another song, Brother Baird. Well, he sang that for a lot of times for Brother Rogers, and finally he came home one day and he said, honey, I got to learn some more gospel songs. Because that was the only 2 he knew. So he learned some more. And I tell you what, it grew from there, because this gospel group that had been singing heard that the country singer had got saved. So they called him up and they said, would you want to try out to sing with our gospel group, who is the King's Four Quartet? He said, sure. So he tried out, and they said, good, you're perfect. Come sing lead with us. So he did. And he sang with the King's Four Quartet for 5 years. And we just weekends, because they were all working men, and they even bought a bus to ride around in on weekends when we would go good distance, and I always traveled with them because I enjoyed it. And my husband was a Christian, and I was so thankful that he knew the Lord, because I had prayed for him. I mean, it was not fun going to church by myself and raising my children in church. But Brother Raymond Rogers, when he started out inviting him to sing, the ball started rolling. And so anyhow, after, I don't know, he sang with the King's Four for 5 years, and I'm sorry to say that they broke up. And the reason they broke up was they got a girl singer on the bus. She came and sang, and she had a beautiful voice. And they would let her sing some. And she was a married woman, but her husband didn't come. We never did meet him. Oh my, what happened then? Now, most of these people have already gone on to heaven. So anyway, one of the singers took up with that girl, and both of them were married. And the guy that took up with her told everybody that it was Buddy, my husband, and that was a lie. That was a lie from hell. But he was covering for himself. And, you know, Satan tempts you to do that kind of stuff. And so that when Buddy found out that they were having that affair, he got real upset about it. But anyway, what really closed it down was the singer that was messing around with this girl that was singing with us, and she's a good singer, and I made friends with her, and I liked her. She was a sweet lady. And so anyway, it broke up the group, but this guy's wife overheard him talking on the phone with this girl from the extension. And so she said, "You quit, man. You ain't in that quartet anymore." And he had to quit. And so therefore we did not have a quartet. Well, after that, Buddy started singing by himself. And the Lord just anointed. And people loved to hear him. And so he said, "Let's just get us a little group together and we'll go on some of these people that want to hear me sing." So that's what we did for a few years. We had a trio. And we had a girl that went to school with Kim. And she's still alive, and she was a beautiful singer. She's on Facebook. I bet she can still sing. But she's probably about 60 years old now, or maybe a little older. Maybe 64, I don't know. But that Donna could sing, I'll tell you. And the guy that sang, we had a guy that sang, and he was good too. He used to sing, and his name was Bucky. And Bucky was a terrific singer, and he had a mother named Pearl. And Pearl played piano. And she was a fantastic piano player. So we carried on with some groups for a while, and then that just died out, you know. Things just don't last all the time. So Buddy started going and singing with soundtracks by himself. And we had a sound system, a Bose sound system, a really good one. And you could just set that thing up, and you could hear any church we went to. And this one woman down in Boonville, Kentucky, heard him sing, and she says, "Can I book you all down in this area?" And Buddy said, "Sure, go ahead." And we had a motorhome, so we'd go, and he was working at GE and making a living, because you don't make no money singing. My daddy said, "He will never amount to nothing if you marry him." Well, the Lord is able, folks. And I was always a Christian, so the Lord was able. So anyhow, he started getting bookings everywhere. And I mean, on weekends, he would be late to work. He would have to skip Mondays at GE because maybe 3 churches would want him to sing in Owensboro, Kentucky, which we live in New Albany. So he was singing, and he had soundtracks, and I run the sound, and he sang. So I was a good sound manager. So I did that. And one time he came back to the camper, and I said, he was looking through his Bible, and he said, "You know, this guy's been wanting me to preach." And he said, "You know, I'm going to speak tonight." I said, "You're going to speak tonight?" He said, "Yeah, I thought I'd speak." So he sang his songs, and then he spoke for about 10 minutes. That was his first sermon. And you know, that man did not finish high school. He went to the 8th through the 8th grade. So anyway, there was this other preacher where he went to sing. It says, "I want you to hold us revival." Hold your, he said, "All I do is sing. I love singing. I just sing. I can do gospel music. We got soundtrack. We'll bring our motor home." He said, "I'll tell you what then. You sing and I'll preach." So that happened. Well, the next thing you know, Buddy was studying his Bible again. And so he started preaching and holding revivals. And I thought, that's interesting. Just around town, you know, not far away. But then one day he came home and he said, "You know what? I have decided to go on the evangelistic field." I said, "You have?" He said, "Yes, I have." I said, "Okay, I'll keep you up." I was a dog groomer, doing small dogs, making good money. I said, "I will send you money. You can make it, I believe. So you take the motor home." And so my niece, bless her heart, she worked at headquarters at the Assemblies of God in Springfield, Missouri. So she sent us a lot of addresses that I could write letters to get him revivals. So I took a little picture of him, put it on a little sheet of paper, sent a cassette to these churches, and they would listen to him sing, and they started booking him. So he came home one day and he said, honey, why don't you just come with me and see what the Lord will do? I said, okay. So I went, and we traveled full time, evangelism. Traveled so many, fascinating. I love Louisiana, and I'll have to tell you sometime how we got into the biggest church in Louisiana. Maybe I'll tell you right now. It won't take too long. I have this niece by the name of Melody, and she was married to an oil man, and he was working off the coast in Louisiana, and they went to the biggest Assembly of God church in Louisiana. So she told her pastor, she says, you just got to have my Uncle Buddy Baird. He's evangelism, and he sings and he preaches, and you ought to have him. And so I sent him a tape, and because they were good Christians and they made big money, he did, the husband did. Steve is a fantastic man, Melody's husband. And don't you know, Brother King booked us. It was a miracle of God. We got into Louisiana. You know, just nobody. That's what we were. You know, I never taught Sunday school, but he had not studied. He had not been to school, but he did get his, he was licensed to be a evangelist. So anyway, so we went down, and God just, so a lot of those pastors in Louisiana thought that because we had been with Brother King, the biggest church in Louisiana, they would book us too. So for 3 months of every year, we were booked in Louisiana for 14 years, and it was wonderful. We met so many wonderful people. God just expanded Buddy's ministries until he passed away at 63 of esophageal cancer. But he had a dream that God was going to call him home, that he was going to graduate. Within a year, he was gone. I thought my life was over, but you know what? Number 2 came along, and now number 3. I was married 11 years to number 2, and now I've been married almost 14 to number 3. All good Christian men. The other 2 are in heaven, and they were wonderful men, but that's why I say I have been so blessed. How do you like the way this iPad does? Does that do pretty good? I think it does pretty good. Not bad. I'm not going to get no fancy lights and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to stick with my iPad and talk to all you kind people. Oh, my heavens. See, I'm a chatterbox. I went 12 minutes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my iPad tells me how long I'm going. It's 12 minutes and 58 seconds. Have y'all seen the cat? She's right here. She stays right here with me. So remember, I told you in one how I lost Big Bum. He got out of that cardboard box. And so I got this one, and I got that big yellow tomcat. And he's wonderful. Well, if it goes 15 minutes, I ain't going to worry about it. You know what the Bible says, be anxious for nothing. Just give thanks. So I give thanks for my lovely cat that keeps me company as I talk to y'all. I just wish you was here in person. I would tell you in person, but I don't have to. You play this in your privacy while you're using the bathroom or something. You know, as you sit there, you get a little bored. Just put me on, I'll talk to you. We go to these yard sales, and this is the truth, and I got to shut up. But I tell people about things like happen. I say, you know, I'm 90, and this is number 3 here, because he calls himself number 3. And they say, could I go home with you? Could you come and visit us? Because we just enjoy visiting so much with people at these yard sales. And I'm a little outgoing and pretty transparent. So anyway, God love you. Walk in the path that Jesus wants to be pleased with you. I'm trying to walk in that path. And James is out working. Number 3 is working. And I am wishing you a blessed day. Bye-bye. I turn it off.